whole is very important because it's almost like three different separate units within the neighborhood, and the trail will allow residents from Ivy City to go down to the market, you know, and with that being done, it'll just make it a more vibrant place and a safer place for them. So the community's excited about it. We've been thinking about it, I'm gonna say for at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years now. And the support letter, Commissioner Roberts.
Sure. So the letter is gonna be direct to the director.
Yes, the letter. There's no discussion. No discussion.
So can I read it and then we can do a couple minutes of discussion? So the motion is going to be to send the following letter, which says, Director Dormjo, we are in receipt of the Rails to Trails Conservancy report and draft concept plan. Having reviewed the plan, we are excited about the creative reuse of this existing railroad right-of-way. The plan indicates that a significant portion of the proposed trail will run within and directly adjacent Single-Member District 5D01. If constructed, the trail would offer a direct public benefit to the residents of this SMD and an associated indirect benefit to neighboring SMDs throughout ANC 5D, as well as neighboring ANCs in Ward 5 and Ward 6. As identified in the plan, several other studies identified deficits in bicycle and pedestrian-friendly routes throughout the ward and certainly within ANC 5D. Our ANC is in support of further serious discussion of constructing such a trail, as well as identifying both additional benefits and any potential drawbacks to such construction. Please let us know how ANC 5D can be of assistance in moving these discussions forward, and that would be a letter from the Commission. So, Commissioner Lee, I think you had a question.
And I've been watching this railroad, it's going across the bridge, goes across the Rio Gap. Is never even considered for making a metro spur as access, so we can have another station come to the neighborhood, going out into Cheverly, connecting the metro, because the tracks sort of run parallel and meet up there, because, you know, with the tourists and trying to get downtown and people moving in. Has that been in consideration? I was talking to you.
I can follow up and get back to you. I'm not aware of any conversations about that, but if there's any community input as part of this project, it would be an opportunity to get that idea and promote that as well.
I'd like to also answer the question. A metro station, of course, would be ideal. That will take years and years, you know, projected probably 10 years. Currently, residents do not have a safe way to get to the other part of our SMD. And also, obesity is an issue. You know, so having the bike rail and activities where they don't sit necessarily is good for the community, and it can be done immediately. So I would like your support in that. And then we can look at a metro station. But we should not say we're not going to do this because we prefer a metro station.
Or Metro Line, equipment station. Not just like when the Galley that stopped, I was amazed how they got that together. Because I would never would have thought.
Actually, we've been discussing.
I never would have thought they could have went up that fast. So, I do understand. But it's just
10 years. Like we've actually, because I've been in the discussion groups. You know, we have discussed the metro stop, but that's not immediate, and we will need funding for that. Like this is not something that was just thought up last week. Like literally, it's been conversations for maybe almost 2 years.
So just to clarify, because we are out of time, the letter, as you can see, is basically asking VDOT to continue discussions. We're not saying, I believe, Commissioner Lewis, we're not saying we support or oppose the project or spending the amount of money. This is just a request to continue the discussions. So we are at the end of the debate. Is your question quick?
Yes, we can have information about the study and information on rural areas.
So
yeah, so I actually have a huge stack of handouts that summarize the report that I can distribute around the room. And also I noticed the full report was linked from the agenda for this meeting. So
at anc5d.org.
Can I ask a quick question? Is this a trail or a train? Or is it both?
A trail. So it would be a trail for bicyclists and pedestrians
okay.
Using the old train corridors.
Oh, okay, okay.
So with that, it's been moved and seconded that we send the letter as read. If there's no further discussion or questions from the commission. Did I not move it? Okay, is there a motion to send the letter as read? It's been moved and properly seconded to send the letter as read. All four, please say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously 7-0. Thank you.
Start.
All right, and last action item that we have for the evening is from Commissioner Lee regarding this.
Well, good evening. It's just that the residents of 1200 block of Owen Place are asking for parking on both sides of the street. Owen Place runs between Montello Avenue and Trinidad Avenue. A lot of concerns about having additional parking for family visits. So they just did a petition. I sent a copy of the petition to the commissioners. They have a majority of the residents would like the parking, and I just like to have a letter of support supporting the residents of 1200 block of Owen Place and their request for additional parking on both sides of the street. Any questions?
I didn't receive your request.
Position.
No, I did not. But I'm certainly supportive of neighbors addressing their parking issues.
Yeah, because they were very proactive.
Where is the petition? Do you have a copy of the petition here?
No, I do not. I did send it out through email.
Any other questions or debate from the commission? Any other questions from the audience about this motion?
They already parked on both sides, you might as well just make it legal and then they can get tickets.
And you know, and when you say that, you know, in the past, as long as I've been here, it used to be with the police officers, where they wouldn't ticket you on a Sunday. So when the family comes over on Sunday for dinner and everything, they come out, they got a ticket. Because right, they do park there anyway. And it's now that they're being ticketed, and this is the reason why they asked for the petition, because, you know, when a family comes over, they're getting tickets. So, because if you come through any Sunday evening, it's parked, both cars are parked on both sides of the street. You parked there too? See. So I'd like to make a motion that the ANC sends a letter of support with the petition that the residents of 1200 Owen Street have already presented, and that we send a letter supporting them.
It's been moved and properly seconded that, and just a clarifying question, that Commissioner Lee is going to write said letter?
Yes.
Okay. So it's been moved and properly seconded that Commissioner Lee is going to write a letter, and that the ANC will send that letter to DDOT regarding this request. Are there any other questions or debate from the commission? Seeing none, all for sending this letter, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions?
Abstain.
Motion passes 6-0-1. Thank you, Commissioner Lee. All right, next item on the agenda is a chairperson's report. I donated some of my time to Commissioner Lee's request, so I'm gonna, actually for the sake of time, as it is well after 8:30, I will send my report via email to all commissioners to their DC Gov email account. Basically, my report says there were a number of documents that we have sent from the last meeting. There are also a number of documents that we have received since the last meeting. I believe all SMDs who are affected have also received those from the relevant agency. And lastly, as folks are leaving, if you have not completed the meeting survey from last meeting, I'm happy to share that we did receive 4 responses to last month's meeting. And with the exception of the today's meeting was fun question, we have 100% of people agree or strongly agree that the meeting was well run, that they learned something, and that they plan to attend another meeting. And I think we see that by so many folks here tonight. So with that, the next item on the agenda is the treasurer's report. So Commissioner Shropshire, you have the floor for 5 minutes.
So I just wanted to provide an update on our TD Bank account. We have not had any transaction activity in our account since January 13, 2015. And our current balance is $65,378.52. We have submitted our paperwork for a security fund, and our documents have been still under review by the Office of the DC Auditor. And I was informed that we would have some decision made by the end of February, but we haven't yet, so we're still pending review. And there were some mentions of our T-Mobile cell phone bill, that we have requested bills from that, and we are, I just recently received our bills, and we're in review of those, and I'm recommending that the ANC commissioners add this as an agenda item for our next committee of the whole meeting, so that we will actually be able to discuss the status of our T-Mobile account and also devise a plan for moving forward. Yes.
Okay, one request I'm making, and I assume it will not be effective until our security fund is in place, but I'm having a challenge holding meetings because I can't, create flyers.
Right.
And also, my residents are not on the listservs. They actually don't go to the internet to get communication about these ANC meetings as a whole. So I'm requesting that when we have funds and we can use it, that commissioners are reimbursed for flyers that are made. And also, I have another request too, is that in addition to us posting online, that we consider doing a newspaper ad, or the secretary consider posting flyers within each SMD, because as you see here tonight, I have no residents here because they don't go online.
So we will have a process, there is a process that will be in place for all reimbursements. That means that you'll need to provide the receipt and any relevant information, and I'm sure that that can be accommodated.
Any other questions from commissioners?
Yeah, I have a concern. One of the reasons why this commission is no longer able to spend money is because we had new commissioners that came in and they made up their own rules. They signed on to themselves onto the account. They basically did their own thing. And as a result, I asked the DC auditor to freeze the account. And thank God the DC auditor has frozen the account. I look forward to this commission. See, it's okay to be ambitious and want to be the chairperson and to want to hold offices, but you really need to follow the law. The law has been broken in this regard. We've not had any minutes that are legitimate. We have someone from Edgewood that is now having, putting up the site. I mean, all of these irregularities, no public funds ever needed to be expended for a post office box. Those types of foolish expenditures do not serve the public interest. And we need to make sure excuse me, Ms. Barnes. Excuse me.
Tell the whole story.
The whole story is in black and white. And the reason why our funds have been frozen is because members of this commission, who now have the majority, have taken it upon themselves to do their own thing. And like I said, thank God the DC auditor finally listened and has frozen the account. And I look forward to this commission operating lawfully as it did when we were first started. When this commission first started, we were receiving compliments from every city agency. Now, we didn't all, maybe we didn't all spend Christmas together and buy each other gifts, but we were able to get the work done. We were able to exchange ideas and to function appropriately. But when the new commissioners came and they had a voting block, they were able to turn things upside down. And their goal is to make sure that they limit whom we communicate with, cell phone issues. It's inappropriate, it's unprofessional, and you deserve better. So, Ms. Barnes, I'm telling the truth, and anything I say is verifiable. And I look forward. Excuse me. Just stop. You're out of order, ma'am. You're out of order. You're out of order. And I expect that anyone who has concerns about how this commission has operated in 2015 and 2016
we're at the end of time.
to go
Thank
to
you
the
so much,
performance oversight
Commissioner
hearings.
Henderson. We're out of time. So I'm actually going to offer Mr. Henderson, I see you have your hand raised. And actually, before I do this, because we are well out of time and it is hot in here and I feel like it is warming up, if there's a motion to extend debate by 2 minutes, I'll entertain that. Is there a motion to extend debate?
About 2 minutes.
For a second?
I have some other.
Motion fails, so you're actually not going to end. So then the last item on the agenda is the adoption of the minutes. Commissioner Buggs.
I move to adopt the minutes for.
What minutes? We don't even have copies.
Excuse me, Commissioner Secretary.
What minutes?
Commissioner, I sent out minutes the same time that I sent out notice to this meeting. If you don't want to read your email, I'm sorry, but they were sent out. Everybody else got them?
Yes.
Okay.
See, that's the type of nonsense that we have to
I
deal with.
move that we approve the minutes for February 9, 2016.
It's been moved and properly seconded. We will open the floor for debate. And commissioners, I'm gonna ask that you allow others to share the floor. So I'm gonna open debate for 2 minutes and ask that we keep discussion to 30 seconds a commissioner, please. 2 minutes for any debate or discussion.
Debate. One, we were making some progress. Before, our secretary didn't even want to read the minutes or present them. So now we are making progress. We have moved forward in that Mr. Roberts' boyfriend does not disrupt the meetings.
Inappropriate.
It was inappropriate. This is the type of foolishness we've been subject to for the whole year and why we couldn't spend any money and get anything done.
Look at the
So
faces,
we're moving
Kathy.
forward.
Look at the faces.
We're moving forward. We're moving forward.
We are moving forward.
And
Is
I
there any other
expect that
debate or
Mr.
discussion?
Roberts' boyfriend will maintain his decorum.
We are moving forward. Is there any other debate or discussion from commissioners?
Or insults.
It's truth telling.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. I'm not seeing any questions that we adopt the minutes as read. All four say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed,
Any
emphatically
abstentions?
opposed.
Motion passes 6-1-0. With that, we've reached the end of the agenda, so I will.
No, 5-1.
Miscounted again, 5-1-0. Thank you, commissioners. That motion passes 5-1-0. With that, we have reached the end of our agenda, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Been moved and seconded, all four.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Have a good evening.